Hello and thank you for joining me on my channel Interior Reflections. My name is Gia Lulich, author of Joyful Journey, a guide back to the wild self, a lover of interior design and many other things that I've not yet made a video on. This episode is a part of my self-empowerment series, and lately I have been watching many YouTube videos and reading up on expressing your femininity. I think in today's culture we've gone a little bit too far on the side of women need to be powerful by being more like men. And I think this is completely the wrong way to go about becoming powerful and influential and really taking ownership of our life. While I definitely appreciate that we are all multifaceted and can have masculine sides as well as feminine sides, if you are a feminine woman, then whether you can cater to your masculine side or not, we all feel best when we are tapped into our femininity. If you guys are interested in spirituality, well-being, self-empowerment, or any of those kinds of themes, then subscribe to this channel because there's going to be loads and loads more videos coming up on this theme. Just before we begin, it's the perfect time to talk about the sponsor for this video, Ana Luisa. I have been working with Ana Luisa for the last year and a half, and I started working with them because I love dainty gold jewelry and I couldn't really find anything that fits my taste. I absolutely love their pieces. It's something that I wear every single day. This necklace I've had for the last year. It gives everything that I wear a bit of a dainty and elegant touch. They've just sent me these incredible rings. It makes me feel really put together and puts that final touch when I'm wearing something plain or when I just want to feel like I've put effort into what I'm wearing. The other amazing thing about Ana Luisa is that they are environmentally responsible and all of their products are carbon neutral. So if you do love dainty gold jewelry with a bit of a twist, use the code below in the description section to get 20% off your next Ana Luisa order. The first tip I have to tapping into your feminine energy is to choose an archetype that most appeals to you. Think about who out of the women you know really inspires you and makes you want to be more like her. This is someone that you may have put on a pedestal in the sense that they have something that you really want. By thinking about why you admire them, you will realize what part of your femininity that perhaps you are not expressing enough. For me, for a long time, was Natalia Vadianova, who's a philanthropist. She's a mother of 5. She has this incredibly glamorous modeling career, but then she also does a lot of work for the Naked Heart Foundation, which is a charity that she started back in her early 20s, and she's made such a huge impact for autistic children in Russia. I feel like she really encompasses all the parts of my femininity that I have yet to express and all the parts of my femininity that I do express. Once you have figured out who this person is and why you would like to be more like her, start to act accordingly. For example, if you love the way this person takes care of themselves, then create a ritual of taking better care of yourself. And once we start expressing that, we become more fully and completely expressed as a woman as well as a human being. Tip number 2, pick your favorite feature and dress to accentuate that particular feature or part of your body. My favorite example of this is someone like Angelina Jolie. She's got an incredibly compelling and interesting and beautiful face, and so you'll notice that a lot of her clothes are plain. I don't know if she does this tactically or intuitively, but it feels like all her clothes and her makeup are actually there to accentuate her face. She never wears clothes with lots of patterns or with lots going on. She doesn't wear too much jewelry. She's incredibly simple in her styling, but this works because her face is just such a huge feature about her. And so she can sort of afford to keep everything else minimalist. Dressing plainly for her is a way to accentuate that main feature and make that the focal point of her appearance. Another example of this is if you love a particular part of your body, make sure to dress in a way that accentuates that part of the body while kind of muting everything else, so that that one feature can become prominent over everything else. Perhaps you really appreciate the shape of your eyes, so you may want to apply makeup to the eyes and also wear clothes that are complementary to the color of your eyes, so that that main feature could really stand out. Based on my own experience, I feel that nothing exudes feminine energy more than feeling comfortable and beautiful in your own skin. It doesn't really matter where you are or what you're doing. If you're feeling that comfort and beautiful in your own skin, then that is really going to come across, and that energy is going to be really feminine and alluring. Tip number 3 is a little bit of an abstract one, so please do stick with me as I explain this. It is just something that intuitively came to me, but also something that, again, I have applied for many years and feel that I'm getting better and better at it, because it's not an easy thing to do. As a woman, we have the luxury of our hormones changing all the time according to our menstrual cycle. And so what that means is that our moods tend to fluctuate. Sometimes we are sensitive, sometimes we're super intuitive. Particularly prior to getting our period, we can get very melancholy, or we can feel a little bit frustrated or extra impatient, or you just feel like your hormones are controlling you a little bit. Instead of resisting that feeling, what I suggest is that you find a really beautiful way of channeling it and really own it. I think, again, there is nothing more feminine and beautiful than embodying who we are in the moment. So for example, one of the things that I've done for many years is, if I'm feeling a little bit sad or a little bit depressed, I will listen to music that inspires that further, that allows me to go into the depths of those feelings and really get engrossed in that. And sometimes obviously it makes you want to cry, but once you have that big cry, it just feels like a massive cleanse, and it feels like you've almost reset your body and your mind. So instead of resisting the feeling and getting really heady about it and thinking about, why am I feeling like this? Because often what, again, as a woman you will find is that there is no explanation sometimes. Sometimes you just feel sad for no particular reason. So instead of resisting it and thinking, why am I feeling like this? Actually dive into the feeling. Listen to the music that is going to accentuate and express and fully embody that feeling even more for yourself, so that you can let it pass through you in a really healthy and seamless way. If we think about all of the moods that we have and everything we go through, and we find a way to channel it in a positive way. For example, if you're feeling really anxious, you could make sure that during that time you do some physical activity, so that you can actually channel that frustration in a way that isn't going to affect you or affect those around you. Again, this is something that I've become really intuitive with. I am very aware of where my cycle is in the month, and I know almost to the day what my mood is going to be like. And so I've kind of embraced that this is going to be what my life is like forever. And because I'm very passionate about making the most out of each moment, I think there is a way that we can harness some beauty out of these slightly, uncomfortable stages. Tip number 4 is listen to classical music. For me, femininity is all about being peaceful, in the flow, creative, nurturing, calm, open, soft, flowing, clear-minded. And so I've recently, in the last few years, really had so much success with cultivating this feminine presence and feminine energy by listening to classical music. The one that I love to listen to is Ludovico Einaudi. God, I think I probably butchered that, but I don't know if that's how you say it. But I will put a link to his Spotify in the description box below. He's got incredible instrumental music which kind of takes you on an intuitive and emotional ride. And because it's just music, your mind doesn't have anything to latch onto. And so it really cultivates this feeling of peace, presence, this feeling of flow, this feeling of almost like prosperity and abundance, which every time I listen to it, I go for a ride every morning and I listen to it and I come back feeling just so centered and grounded in myself and really exuding that feminine energy and feeling like I'm ready to take on the day. And finally, tip number 5 is throw away the structure for a day or an afternoon at the very least. One of the things that's really beautiful about being a woman is that we are way more in touch with our intuition. This is something that's very natural to us, but it is also something that we can sharpen up and deepen and make a lot stronger and a lot more of a powerful influence in our life. Giving up structure for a day or just an afternoon or an hour or two, if you've got the time, is actually giving ourselves the space to check in with our body, with our spirit, with our mind, and actually see what we need. Taking this time out to go for a walk or to just follow your feet and see where they take you strengthens our intuition and allows us to hear that little voice in our head that's not very loud over all the other chatter that we hear every single day, including ourselves talking. It really provides that space to give our inner self and our higher self the opportunity to be heard, but also to get ourselves out of our head for a little bit of a period of time, ideally for a whole day, because I think that can be a huge reset. But if you're not able to do a whole day, then even just an hour, take out the time to just purely follow your intuition. Ask yourself, what do I need? What would I love to be doing right now? And go and do that thing. And that is actually such a powerful way to open up the space to be able to really hear yourself and what is going on internally. It's something that I make a part of my every single day, and it really works miracles to inspire my feminine state. And this feminine state is the one I feel most comfortable, happy, joyful in, and the one I feel I'm most grounded in. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. I hope you've enjoyed that video. I could talk for hours about this topic. There are probably so many more tips that I could give on inspiring your feminine energy. So if you want me to cover any other parts of this, please do let me know. Just before I leave you guys, just another reminder to use the code GLUL20 to get 20% off Ana Luisa jewelry. Thank you guys so much for sticking around, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Ciao for now.